talking about the tales that never tire. Ghosts and ghouls up in the trees, whispering secrets on the breeze. Down in the holler where shadows hide, lights flicker where the spirits glide. They swear they saw Jim, now gone, walking around with his boots still on. Unseen things in the Appalachian night, haunted fields where the moon don't lie. Cryptids howl and the stories flow. Gin and cocoa, they surely know.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. It's our 1-year anniversary.
Woo!
I don't have a party hat. Let's just saying that. Excuse me. I just eat peanut
There.
butter crackers. Yes, your hair is up.
My hair is a mess. I have had a hat on all day, so now it's just.
So we haven't prepared at all for this because we thought we were having an investigation tonight, but our lame friends,
Yeah.
Phil had to get
Roy
sick.
and Phil. Yeah. Fuck you, Phil. Just
So-
kidding. Love you.
So instead, we are here just hanging out. I don't know, talking about some weird stuff. Oh my
What are we
god,
gonna
I'm
talk
having
about?
indigestion.
I'm sorry you're having gastro issues.
know. First off, okay.
Oh,
Maybe
for
that-
our 1 year.
Well, hold on. I'm also crazy like everybody else, and shout out, of course, to Becky Ann Galentine, who put us all onto these Five Below Ouijas.
Look how
Oh, there's
Look
one
how
up there
cute.
too. Wait, where's it at?
Oh
There.
yeah.
But like I have 9 of them. So I'm keeping that one up there. But one thing we are going to do for our 1 year is we're going to do a giveaway, and I will make a post kind of stating everything. But basically what you have to do is you have to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, both the page and the group. What else?
Instagram. YouTube.
I think I said YouTube.
Did you?
Shit, I don't even know.
I don't know.
Follow
Us on all the
I'll make a post, and I won't be so like all over the place. But like, yeah, so you'll get to win one of these.
Yeah, Ryan, maybe you'll win this one.
And and then you'll there'll be some other Appalachian Ghost Girls things that we will throw
Can
in.
I open this? Because I haven't.
Yeah.
No. Can I open yours?
Yeah,
I'll open yours, not
Okay.
the one we're gonna give away.
she's gonna
'Cause I
open
haven't
it.
seen it. I need one. Can I have one of the 9 you have?
Yeah, I guess.
Or I can just go to Five Below and try and get one myself.
You can have one if you want. Hi, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
For anybody listening on
I
Spotify.
can't wait to see you in July.
For anybody listening on Spotify, if we sound like we have severe ADHD, well, first off, we do.
We do.
And second off, we're talking to people because we are live technically on StreamYard. All right, so he's unboxing this beautiful Ouija board. Ouija board.
Ouija board. Ready? Look
Oh,
how cute
that
it
is
is.
so
Oh,
cute.
it's so pretty.
I've never opened it before.
Wait, I don't know which way to like hold this so the camera can see me.
It's so cute.
And
It
it's
is.
like
it's like sturdy.
It's
Like,
definitely
a-
sturdy.
Listen to that.
Look how cute the planchette is. The little pink planchette.
I love this. I should have
This
bought
is adorable.
more of them. I
So
mean,
you'll-
I'm like, I should have bought more of them. I have 9. That's not
Yeah,
enough.
We should buy more. Maybe I'll go get some. So yeah, you guys can win this if you wait till Jen posts the thingy, but
Yeah.
this is adorable.
You also need to pull out one of our new shirts
Okay. Let me set
while
this
you're
down.
doing this. We got new shirts. Very limited
Yeah.
amounts though.
But we'll have them at like the Grafton Monster Festival.
Yeah.
We'll have them at our Mystics convention. We'll
I've
have
had
them
a
at
few.
Gettysburg.
Yeah, Gettysburg. We're not vending, but we are speaking.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting we're not vending.
But
So
because we're taking video, we're gonna be like going around
Yeah.
talking to people.
but we may not have merch there.
No, you know what? We can still bring some, not all of our merch, but like our signature, like Appalachian
Like
Ghost
some
Girls.
t-shirts
Yeah,
or
we'll bring
stuff.
that stuff. So if
We like
anybody's
have a
interested.
bag of stuff.
We
Okay.
have
Where did you put the shirts?
they're in the
here?
that box. But the Appalachian Ghost Girls, these are one of my favorite designs.
Yeah, I do love this.
We just got the
And
same design on tank tops coming in as well.
Which I'll be getting one of them to show off my guns.
Yeah, but this is so cute.
Look how cute.
Yes, gray, nice material.
It is very nice. And
Yes.
it's not like, I hate when like t-shirts do like that weird like stretch,
Yeah.
like stretchy thing. Like this is not that kind of material.
No, and these like actually stay on really well.
Yeah,
I
even in
have-
the wash. I've washed
yeah.
mine several times.
I've washed because I have the Girls in Goals one that I've washed.
This
Like
is super
I
cute.
But yeah, so that's I mean, a man can definitely buy that design too if he wants. This is
It's unisex.
yeah. But we also have
All of
the
our-
other the black.
Whoa, what was Are you becoming possessed
I
right
am.
now? We're gonna have a live exorcism tonight.
Yes, the black ones.
Oh yeah,
with the
that don't
ghouls.
have like
They have like the little ghouls on them. Like so that's
yeah,
like
those ones are super cute.
the
too.
more stereotypical. That's the one I wore. Male one, but fuck it, wear whatever you want.
Yeah,
If you give us the money, we don't give a fuck what you buy.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we have
we won't be giving away a shirt,
no.
but we're giving away one of these awesome Ouija boards, and I think we'll probably stickers, maybe even a hat. I have the really cute
Ooh.
Appalachian Ghost Girls hats, like
Are
trucker
they
caps.
somewhere that I can.
They're all
pull
in
it out?
there, but there's
Okay.
green and black,
There's
and
too
it's
much
got
stuff over here.
the one,
Hi, Mike.
the one logo that I bought, and it's got Mothman flying in the air like a shadow, and then it's got Bigfoot like flicking off the whoever.
Nice.
So-
That's the one that's the one we're giving away.
Okay,
Yeah, we should do like that and some stickers and a hat.
that would
and
be cute.
make it like a little
Yeah.
a little gift bag.
So you'll have to follow our socials, and then you'll have to tag like probably 3 people or something, and that will enter you into a drawing. And then probably like the beginning of July, maybe the end of June, depending on when our podcast is, we'll do a live drawing. We'll put all the names in a jar and we'll shake it. And
that'll be fun.
yeah. So we'll talk about some bizarre stuff.
Some weird things going on.
So I was finding some bizarre but true horror stories that actually happened that were in the news. And these aren't necessarily from right now, but
Yeah.
these are actual reports of things that happened.
There is one here. I don't know how much you read, but there's one here from Pennsylvania.
Is there?
Yes. Where did it
Interesting.
go?
Well, while you,
Oh.
which one's
Oh
that?
no, wait. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm wrong.
Well, we were speaking of
Oh, there it is.
exorcisms.
Okay, sorry.
Speaking of exorcisms, I have one out of London, and this is called a deadly exorcism. So, remember, this is a true news story. In August 2016 in North London, 26-year-old Kennedy Ife began acting strange and aggressive following a pain in his throat. He reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off his own penis, and complained of a python or snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties and excessive force. As the BBC reported, the family then set about attempting to cure Kennedy through restraint and prayer over the next 3 days, the court was told. His brother, Colin, told police, "It's clear that thing was in him, what we believed was a demon, because it was not natural. It was clearly trying to kill him," he said. "We had to restrain him for himself. It was clear if we didn't restrain him, he could have tried to harm people in our family." So Kennedy had been bound to his bed for 3 days without medical attention when his brother called emergency services, explaining that Kennedy was complaining of dehydration. He appeared to have developed breathing issues and was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. As The Independent reported, while police were at the house, Colin allegedly carried out an attempted resurrection by chanting and praying for Mr. Ife. All 7 of Kennedy Ife's family members were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult. A post-mortem examination revealed over 60 wounds, including a possible bite on Kennedy Ife's body, and his father, Kenneth Ife, along with 4 of his brothers, sustained injuries as well. Again, the BBC reported Kenneth Ife told jurors he ordered his sons to take shifts and used overwhelming force, but denied that in association with cults, occults, and secret societies played any part in the death. After a 4-day jury deliberation, all 7 family members were cleared of charges on March 14th, 2019.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
So nobody's responsible for that poor kid's death.
no. And that's crazy because, like, I do believe, like, we just had this conversation off camera earlier. I believe in demons. I believe there are demons. I don't believe everything's a demon, but I do believe in demons. And I do believe that there can be possessions, but, like, also I believe a lot of times it's mental illness. Like, I think more often it's mental illness than it is demon possession. And I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't possessed, but, like, I don't know. It just sucks because he ended up dying. I think he should have been taken to, like, an actual medical facility.
Yeah.
And then, like,
Especially after 3 days. I've read other stories. There was one was like a child that they did the same thing to.
Yeah.
They thought the child
it's
was
happened a lot.
possessed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happened a lot.
And they, were trying to, I guess, exorcise him, and the
Well, it's
person
like,
ended up dying.
and it's like you could restrain them in a hospital if it was needed, but
Right.
but they would be able to give him an IV of fluids
right.
so that he
They would
wasn't
be taken
dehydrated.
care of.
Yeah, it's
I don't know,
crazy.
that's wild. I found the one that was in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I actually did a TikTok about this before. You read it.
Oh, really?
You read
Okay.
this one.
This is called The Phone Stalker. In 2007, ABC News documented a series of cell phone calls to families with terrifyingly specific death threats. The unidentified callers knew exactly what families were doing and what they were wearing. The families say the calls came in at all hours of the night, threatening to kill their children, their pets, their grandparents. Voicemails arrived playing recordings of their private conversations, like within their home, including one with a local police detective.
Wow.
Hi, Wild Bill. The caller knows, the family said, what we're wearing and what we're doing. After months of investigating, police seemed powerless to stop them. This went on with the,
Well, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kukencall.
Kukencall family for months, who reported a caller with a scratchy voice threatening to slit their throats. When the Faircrest, Washington police tried to find the culprit, the calls were traced back to the family's own phones, even when they were turned off.
That's really
And this is in
crazy.
2007.
That's wild.
It got worse. Now they have their Quaken dolls. And 2 other Faircrest families told ABC News that they believe the callers are using their cell phones to spy on them. They say the hackers know their every move, where they are, what they're doing, what they're wearing. The callers have recorded private conversations. The families and police said, including we already said that part. So they were getting random, like, calls, but
From
whenever they
the
were
house.
traced, it came back to their own cell phones.
That's crazy.
How is that even possible?
Unless somebody in the family was messing with them and just, I don't know.
But no, they said it traced back to, like, their own phones. So maybe, like, it was more than one.
Maybe. That's crazy.
There's apps out there that allow, because my brother did
Yeah,
it to
but
me
was
once,
that-
and he called me and it showed up as my own name.
But would that have been out in 2007?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know if we were, like, that far along technology wise.
Yeah, I don't think so. That was almost 20 years ago.
Oh God, was it really?
Well, 2007,
Ugh.
18 years.
Oh, that's the year Gwen was born. Ugh.
I know.
God, we're old.
I know. But that's so weird.
It is. Here's another one out of Pennsylvania that I've actually done a story on before too. Dead animals in the walls.
Oh, yeah.
When the Brett
Weird.
Zeus family decided to insulate their home in Auburn, Pennsylvania in 2015, they discovered that it had already been with scores of dead animal carcasses. As Fox reported, the dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 40s and were among half-used spices and other items. After removing the items, they sent hundreds of artifacts and carcasses to an expert in Kutztown. The expert attributed the rotting animals in their wall to the powwow or Dutch magic, a originating, I can't talk, in the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection. And powwow, there's a famous murder, Hex Hollow, like that's a big thing. It's not Native American powwow, it's like a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. It's a type of magic.
Magic, yeah.
The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers to Pennsylvania in the 1600s and 1700s and are often Lutheran, Mennonite, or Amish faiths. The Washington Post notes on the magic, many of the spells deal with the care of livestock, finding water, or the treatment of minor ailments, reflecting the conditions and concerns of early American settlers. But powwow also has within it a tradition of darker spells and even of such things as conjuring demons. One notable ritual in their tradition is the hex to create loyalty in a dog. To attach a dog to a person, provided nothing else was used before to effect it, try to draw some of your blood and let the dog eat it along with his food, and he will stay with you. The mold found on the rotting carcasses in the Bretsucies, whatever their name is, home has caused illness among the family members, and they say that the odor hasn't gone away. It's time to move.
Yeah. Burn the house down.
Yeah. Yeah. Collect the insurance.
Start anew. That's wild. Could you imagine like redecorating your house, renovating, and then they're just being fucking
You'd be
dead
excited because you'd be like,
be
oh, animal
excited.
bones.
I would be. I would just like nail them to my wall. New taxidermy.
Oh my God.
What else can we read? There was one. Do I want to read Axe Murder or The Haunted Doll?
How about a haunted doll?
Okay. I was actually in the cemetery earlier today and I had my spirit talker on and it said something about dolls. So let's read this one. When you think of haunted dolls, it's likely the creepy old Victorian looking porcelain kind that springs to mind. None of which you probably have laying around. Still, don't get too comfortable around any kids' toys too soon though. A Disney's Frozen Elsa doll that was gifted, of course, Frozen Elsa doll, gifted for Christmas 2013 in the Houston area made headlines earlier this year when it seemingly became haunted. The doll recited phrases from the movie Frozen and sang "Let It Go" when a button on its necklace was pressed. For 2 years, it did that in English, said the mother. In 2015, it started doing it alternating between Spanish and English. There wasn't a button that changed these, it was just random. The family has owned the doll for more than 6 years and never changed its batteries. The mother says the doll would randomly begin to speak and sing even when it's switched off. The family decided to throw the creepy doll out in 2019. Weeks later, December of 2019, weeks later, they found it inside a bench in their living room. The kids insisted they didn't put it there, and I believed them because they wouldn't have dug through the garbage outside. At that point, Elsa ceased to sing the English rendition of Let It Go altogether, speaking only Spanish when pressed. The family then double-bagged the bizarre doll and placed it at the bottom of their garbage, which was taken out on garbage day. They went on a trip shortly after, and when they returned, Elsa too had come back and was waiting in the backyard of their home. This time, the family mailed Elsa to a family friend in Minnesota who taped the haunted doll to the front bumper of his truck. It doesn't seem to have made its way back to Houston yet, as per Madonia's last Facebook post. That's like a whole Annabelle going on with a
Yeah.
Elsa doll.
Speaking of like throwing something out, when my mom was younger, she became a Christian like later on. And like she, you know, like a lot of Christians think that a Ouija board is bad. And she destroyed hers or whatever and like threw it in the garbage. Like a day or two later, it was put back together and it was in her closet.
That's wild.
She swears. And like, it's my mom. Like, I don't think she's
Yeah,
lying. But
yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy. Like, how does that shit happen?
I have no idea. But then I believe in weird stuff happening. So,
I mean, I believe in it too. I've just never had anything like that
yeah.
happen before.
Hmm.
There's one more. It was like the Axe Murder House.
There was another one.
They have the Elisa Lam story in there. But we already went over that. We went over that 1 year ago. Wasn't that our first?
Did you talk about the Watcher from New Jersey?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I've seen that movie.
The Watcher, after moving into their $1.3 million dream home, must be nice.
Right?
A New Jersey family started receiving creepy death threats from someone who identified themselves as the Watcher, as CBS News reported earlier this year. Since moving in, the owners said they have received numerous letters from the mysterious person. The Watcher claimed the home has been the subject of my family for decades, and I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming, Castro reported. The new owners have several children, and other letters asked, have they found out what's in the walls yet? And I am pleased to know your names now and the name of the young blood you have brought to me. The family was forced to flee from their home and later filed a lawsuit against the previous owners. People are crazy.
Yeah.
So that one to me sounds like someone who lost the home, like, was pissed and, like,
Just
trying to
wanted
scare them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the show, was it the show or the movie? Wasn't there like a couple different versions of the Watcher?
I don't know.
But they ended up living like through like tunnels in the basement and like some like random room. Like they lived under the house, the Watcher did.
That's crazy. You want to hear a crazy story that's true?
Yes, I do.
And this, you can look this up. This happened in, I think it was the 90s, in Oakland, the part of Pittsburgh, on Lawn Street. My cousin Bill, he's older, like he's in his 80s now, but he lived like 2 houses down from this. And I remember him telling us there was a man, he was kind of like wild, like just off. And then a woman lived next door, and she was part of like the symphony or something like that.
Mhm.
But he, like, the man had not been taking very good care of his house. And I'm sorry if I don't get this 100% correct. I'm trying to remember from memory. But they would argue all the time, to the point that, like, she, like, filed charges, like, against him, like, you know, like, not like criminal, but you know what I mean? Like, sued him for this because he had trash in his yard, all that stuff like that. Well, then, like, all this stuff came to a head because, like, they ended up finding out that, or she ended up missing. They went back to the houses, found out that he, because he had, the way the houses were, they were like connected to each other. He burrowed through her basement, got her, and then cut her up, and like was trying to dispose of her. Like, he killed her.
Jesus.
He had all kinds of wild, like, animals. He had like snakes. He had like all this stuff in his house. And so when they came, like, with the wagon, they had people come in, like the paddy wagon, like the van. They had people had to come in and get these big snakes, like these huge snakes, and all these animals. But he ended up, I believe, hanging himself in the back of the van.
Jesus.
And that
in
is
the paddy wagon?
Yeah. And that is true. That actually happened. If you Google, like, the murder in Oakland, like with the guy with the animals and everything from, like, yeah. Because I looked it up not too long ago. Because
that's crazy.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, did I imagine that shit? Because my brain is like warped. But I'm like, did I imagine that? Was that real? Did they exaggerate, you know, my family? And like, I Googled it, and I'm like, sure enough, yeah, that's the whole shit is crazy. I did TikTok about that too.
There was, I don't know if I ever told you this, when the street I grew up on in Dormont, there was a girl that was murdered. She was found on the trolley tracks, and they never found out like what happened to her. I forget how long that was. I used to know her name, but yeah, my childhood home street.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, there's I don't know, anytime something happens like somewhere you don't expect, like anytime I hear about a murder happening in South Park, which not the cartoon for those wondering, but
Park
in Pittsburgh, there's a place called South Park. It's really like nice, peaceful park. They have events and they have pavilions and you have picnics, and I take my clients there. You know, last year at the end of the school year, at a pavilion that I've taken clients to before, they found a mother and her daughter. They were both dead. And she was like, the mom, and I never found out what happened.
This.
Yeah, it was last year. The mom, you can look it up. The mom picked her daughter up from school, and like they drove to the park, and like I never found out, like,
died.
Yeah, I think that like she must have. She's going through a divorce, and I think the husband, who was a cop, he was trying to take maybe the daughter away. I think she like probably poisoned them, like each other. You know what I mean? Like a murder
Yeah.
suicide. And then
There was just a body found in South
yes,
Park.
and the little lake that's by
Yeah.
there. Yeah, don't know what that's about either. But that same
I said, what if it's the serial killer? You know, like that, all those like young men that went missing,
Yeah.
like
like
over the past smiley face
Yeah.
killer.
Yeah.
Why didn't anybody in my family know what I was talking about? I sounded like a crazy person on Memorial Day, being like, it was Pittsburgh's own serial killer.
But that pavilion, the Diana Pavilion, where they found the mother and the daughter, like
When was that?
It was I think it was end of last school year. So probably like it's been like
Huh.
probably a year. That same pavilion though, like I said, we've had lots of events for my clients there. I work with adults with disabilities, and somebody like got shot there. Like somebody shot. Like I'm like, this is South Park. This is not
Yeah, there's the police station is literally
the Hill
like
District.
right there.
Yeah, it's like it's South Park, and like I don't know, it's crazy. though.
Nowhere is safe anymore. Can't
No.
go anywhere without being fucking risk being shot
No, I think I had one more
or
exorcism.
stabbed.
Yeah, I had one more exorcism story.
Okay,
Oh, that's about multiple. Okay, this one.
but the children,
Yeah.
that's freaky.
Okay, this will be our last one before we go. Do you want to read it or you want me to?
Did you read the last one?
I don't know, probably.
I'll read this one.
Okay, hold on.
Let me find it. Hold, please.
It's an exorcism in Indianapolis. So for our Indiana friends.
Well, I lost the
Just read
webpage.
mine.
Okay. Last year, does that mean 2024? Is this
I don't know.
whatever? Last year, the Indianapolis Star published a lengthy report on a family terrorized by 3 children allegedly possessed by demons. Now that makes it sound like the family was terrorized by children that were not theirs. They were the family's children.
Okay.
It makes it sound weird, but because I was like, it made me confused. The account of Latoya Ammons and her family tells disturbing stories of children climbing up the walls, getting thrown across rooms, and children threatening doctors in deep, unnatural voices. It would seem like something they'd be like, all right, little Jimmy, calm down. It would seem like something straight out of a movie, a work of fantasy, except all these accounts were more or less corroborated with nearly 800 pages of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted in more than a dozen interviews with police, DCS personnel, psychologists, family members, and a Catholic priest. One of the more chilling sections of the report includes a segment about the possessed 9-year-old. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker, the nurse, the 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backward up a wall to the ceiling. He then flipped over, landing on his feet.
Parkour. Yeah.
Never letting go of his grandmother's hand.
Oh, all right.
That just gave me chills.
That's crazy.
Another segment of the piece reads, the 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she felt as if she were being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move. She said she heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes. I wish there was more about that story.
No, you'll have to look
We'll
it
have
up.
to, yeah.
Children are weird.
Could you imagine having all 3 of your children possessed?
I'd punt them.
Yeah.
Get out of my house. Get out of here.
I'd be like, get the fuck out. You're on your own. Sorry, kid.
Yeah.
How are you going to walk up a wall backwards? Flip over.
I don't know, unless it was very fast. Was it like slow motion? Was he just like and then flip?
He was doing a jig.
Or was
up
he
the
just like
wall.
run? Because you've seen people like run up the wall and
Yeah.
flip backwards. I mean, maybe he was just very like athletic.
I don't know. Have you ever seen a kid walk up a wall,
No,
flip over?
I have not. I would punch that child.
Yeah. Baseball bat straight to the noggin. Sorry, kid.
I'm not dealing with that. Like, not today, Satan.
Yeah.
Not today.
That makes me very glad I don't have kids.
All right. Well, this is like I said, we weren't prepared because
We were supposed to do something else than our stupid friends. Just kidding.
So we are back on June 12th, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's when we will do that starts season 3, even though it's been 1 year. It's
Wait.
season 3. We switched to 3.
Yes, I'll be there, Mike. I have it on my calendar, so I
Yes.
don't forget.
But yeah, so we'll start season 3.
Wait, what was season 2?
Well, season 1 was when we were opinionated. We used to be Opinionated Podcast, which
Yeah.
started a year ago.
Yeah.
But then we switched it over to Appalachian Ghost Girls, which started season 2 because I wanted it to be very separated. So
it should just be, we should just start from Appalachian Ghost Girls.
no, because we had some good ones. So that the Lisa Lamb, we were
Yeah, that
unhinged
was
in
good.
those.
I
So
don't
we're
even
keeping them up.
remember
So this
those
is season
days.
3. Some people
Okay.
do 2 seasons in 1 year.
Season 3.
So this season 3 starts, and it's gonna be with an investigation, which we will do live, but I probably won't put that on Spotify because that would be incredibly boring to listen to.
Yeah.
But we'll be on.
we'll be
StreamYard.
live on, yeah.
So you can check us out on Facebook or
Maybe we'll
YouTube.
do like Instagram live while we're there too. Yeah.
We'll see. But
See
yeah,
if we can see the ghosts in my house again. Get
But-
some action.
be on the lookout for the giveaway.
Yeah.
What is it?
It
Yeah,
was May 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Yep.
it was whenever we came back from LA, because that's whenever you had your brilliant idea of
Yeah.
it was literally like the day after we wanted to fucking murder each other. Not even the day after. It was like after we like talked and made like everything was okay and like
Well, let's do a podcast.
you come out of the bathroom, you're like, we should do a podcast, and I'm just laying in bed still kind of like seething like this bitch. Like, I want to kill her and she's trying to do a podcast.
They're like, I don't plan on talking to you when I get home.
I was like, wait, are we even friends and we're supposed to do a podcast? But here we are a year later.
Yes.
Better than ever. My
Ha-
boo-boo biscuit butt.
We do need to go back to the Queen Mary though.
We do.
See if we
We're gonna do a reenactment of our fight.
I'll be like, meh, like just punch in the air. We'll just be punching. Be across from
Yeah. That would be hilarious.
It'll end up on some kind of YouTube page. It'll be like surveillance
Oh
from
my God.
Queen Mary.
Does Queen Mary have like a social media
They
page?
do.
What if they reposted our video? That'll be
great.
hilarious. We definitely have to get back there soon.
Yeah, I do want. I really would like to go there in 2026 again.
You wanted to go somewhere else in 20. Man, I need money.
I'm going to Twilight Land. I want to go up to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
My
I
kids
want to
are
go
like,
just to see it. I don't really care about Twilight.
I care about Twilight.
I know.
But I also
just go to
want to
see
see
it.
that area.
It is
But, like,
pretty.
My kids are like, whoa, let's go to Japan next year. I'm like, 2027, my work is not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll take 2 weeks off after
Yeah.
taking like almost 2 weeks off this year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's got to be every
Japan.
other year. I do want to go to
God.
Japan. But
When
I
are
need
we?
to-
We've been saying we're going to go to Iceland for like
I
5
know.
years.
That kind of got pushed back on the list.
Japan. I'll be like the biggest person in Japan.
You'll be like, stop.
They'll be like, Godzilla!
They stopping through. I'll be like,
Remember when we were in New York and you like Jen Smash?
that was Lauren that said that.
Was it? But
Yes.
you were like, I eat them or something. That's why my butt's so big. I don't remember. I have all those notes in my phone still. I was reading them the one day.
All right, we don't need to read those live.
Yeah, I know. That
All
was
right.
get us in trouble.
Yeah, we'd be canceled. Okay.
Yeah, we would be.
We will see you in 2 weeks. Be on the lookout for the giveaway.
Yeah.
And
We
catch-
love you.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.